Outlander, blood of my blood, everything's coming up Lovat. I hate to say it, but Simon Fraser, Lord Lovat, has won this week's Outlander, blood of my blood on a number of fronts. He gives his new son his name. In order to legitimize their kid and set the youngster on the course he believes would lead to the kingdom, he marries Jullia, kind of. He takes great pleasure in the spreading stories about Ellen's virtue, which he initiated, you remember. In a metaphorical sense, he is immune to even mild erectile dysfunction. This week, the MacKenzies, Frasers, and Grants are debating whether or not to join the revolt at Jacobitepalooza. Next, the episode's last moments then provide a character who desperately needs a glimmer of hope. The highlights of Luceo Non Uro. Did MOO do it? Archbug is certain he knows who stole the Grants' cattle in the middle of the night, the McKenzies, trying to steal our kine from right under our noses to pay the dowry they owe us. Malcolm assigns Henry the responsibility of determining who took the cows after Henry and Malcolm argue that it would be unwise for the McKenzies to do so. Malcolm asserts that, no one steals from us and gets away with it. As an aside, it's unknown how long it has been since Henry lost touch with reality, but it's probably not that long because he still looks like he washed up on shore in a hurricane. Mrs. Fitz is buzzing about Ellen over at Castle Leoch, taking the redhead's hesitation to discuss her impending wedding as a sign of her trepidation of consummating the union. Colum walks in while they are working on her trousseau and orders them to pick it up since he wants this union to be closed down as quickly as possible. Ellen responds that they will appear flimsy if she doesn't bring enough embroidered linens and other items. Colum is unconcerned. He allows her till this Sunday to do the task. When Ned arrives with the news that the Grants have suspicions regarding the raid, Colum's arrogant confidence that the wedding would take place shortly is shaken. To make matters worse, Dougal has yet to return home from a trip to purchase livestock, opting instead to pay a visit to some well-known Jacobite supporters. All of us will be charged with treason by him. Afraid that his brother may promise McKenzie money to the Jacobite cause, Colum sobs. And since the Grants are still loyalists, that will probably put an end to the engagement or alliance between the families. As Colum is disintegrating, under the pretense of a social call, Ellen offers to go to the house of Nairn, where she will intercept Dougal and take him and the money home. I adore Ned's expression when he understands that this is not just their only choice, but also a good one. A name, what is it? Brian and Jullia christen her baby William Henry Beecham at a church close to Castle Leathers. That child is such a cute little burrito, my goodness. A name, what is it? Brian and Jullia christen her baby William Henry Beecham at a church close to Castle Leathers. That child is such a cute little burrito, my goodness. Lovat and the priest wait inside the sanctuary to baptize the child with the name Simon desires. Jullia fears that Lovat would attempt the traditional sneak attack wedding tactic when Davina walks out to pick her up, but the maid assures her that this is not the case. Why would he do anything to challenge the local rumors that Jullia is Lady Lovat, given that they already believe it? As she tries to settle her fussy son, Jullia guesses that Simon will want to bed her again, soon and a lot. But Davina points out that he won't want to do it while she's healing, and anyway, he'll soon move on to something fresher. Not exactly a pep talk, but comforting nevertheless. The bairn is safe and well, and with ye, Davina says, encouraging Jullia to count her blessings and come inside. She does. The baby is officially named Simon Fraser of Lovat, just like his supposed father, who after the brief service rips into Brian for not being more supportive. Brian counters that the whole thing is a sham, right down to having the service in a Protestant church when they're Catholic. No future monarch can be Catholic or married to a Catholic, according to a declaration made by Parliament, Simon states. I'm taking the necessary action. Brian says, dude, you'll have no throne unless there's an uprising. Citing the family motto, Je suis prest, which translates to, I am ready, Simon declares that he will be prepared for everything that comes his way. Murtagh attempts to avoid Brian after the service but refuses to sit next to him. Murtagh decks him when that fails. He clarified, saying, Ellen McKenzie. Saying that he didn't know who Ellen was until he fell in love with her, Brian sputters out an apology. However, Murtagh makes it apparent that being kept in the dark hurts him more. Losing the girl to another man is already a terrible situation. However, to lose her to someone I thought of as my brother? Murtagh isn't listening to Brian's repeated apologies, so Bola, who incidentally heard at least some of the exchange, summons Brian and Murtagh back inside the church. In order to advise Lord Lovat on the alliance the clan should form, Simon assigns Murtagh to attend a Jacobite conference. Brian is also told to leave by Lovat, who threatens to harm Davina if he doesn't. I have to go back to her. Ned meets with Henry to vehemently deny the McKenzies' role in the raid, but the Grant's Bladier calms him down because he already believes that Rob Roy McGregor, a Jacobite, is the culprit. Henry tells Ned that he has counseled Isaac Grant to remain faithful to the crown because, like Claire, he is aware of how things work out. He then exhorts Ned to persuade the McKenzies to do the same.